What's up, everyone? How y'all doing? Welcome to the Mystic Media channel. I am Rabina, aka the Realist Astrologer. With all this talk about the Pisces new moon and the eclipse and all of that stuff, I decided to go against the grain and talk about Virgo, in particular Virgo men. So I just wanted to talk about what I know about Virgo men and the dark side of Virgo, being as though I've had two long-term relationships with Virgo men in the past. Virgo is intercepted in my eighth house using the Placidus house system. These are astrological terms if you're unfamiliar with that. But basically, what that means is you have 12 houses, and Virgo ends up in my eighth house, completely swallowed by my eighth house. Like it's not bordering on the eighth house cusp or going into the ninth house. So it's completely contained in the eighth house, which is very significant. But enough about that. I'll get into that some other time. Basically, so my interpretation of the dark side of Virgo after dealing with Virgo men, and also my oldest sister's ex-husband is a Virgo. Who else in my life is a Virgo? My nephew is a Virgo, and someone else I'm real close with or familiar with. So, but basically, so let's get into it. The dark side of Virgo can be very mind fucking, I'll say that. They can be mind fucks. And that's because Virgo is a very cerebral sign. They're ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the planet of the conscious mind, it's the planet of communication, the planet of talking, messaging, speaking, verbalizing ideas, things such as that. Also learning. So, number one, Virgos think they know everything. That's the dark side of Virgo males, especially males. Now, females typically, with the way female nature works, is we don't try to always project in the environment and try to have that aggressive, assertive nature. So, men naturally have a tendency to believe that they know everything, or they don't like to admit that they don't know everything, and that goes, you can think about them not wanting to ask for directions when they're on a road trip. But anyway, Virgo men, they think that they know everything. And if you know more than them about something, they will really take it personally, and, they will try to one up you in other ways. Another dark side of Virgo is they can be very particular when it comes to certain things, especially cleaning and food. They can have quirky eating habits, or they can be very particular about food, or they just might eat up all the food in your house. Virgo, the dark side of Virgo can deal with that too, just being very picky, being very particular, being clean freaks, or they may not be clean freaks, but they might have a certain way of cleaning that they think is perfect, but they're bleaching all your laundry, you know. So that one. Another thing, Virgo men can be mama's boys. That's if they have a good relationship with their mother. If they don't have a good relationship with their mother, watch out, because they will be damn near psychotic at certain times. They definitely cannot handle a negative relationship with their mother. If their mother was non-existent, they're really going to have mental issues, stemming from that. Some people can deal with having a horrible upbringing, but Virgo cannot successfully. A lot of times they have a hard time with that, so they'll either resort to drug abuse, in life, or they'll just be, deal with mental health issues. Because the reason why is Virgo needs consistency, and they need regularity, and they need order, and they need structure to feel whole in life. And having a proper diet is very important. Having their basic needs taken care of is very important. Being mothered is very important for Virgo. So, because they need that reassurance, and it's often the mother that provides that reassurance and is not as critical as, say, a father figure, and provides that soft place for Virgo to fall. Virgo always needs a soft place to fall, and that's why they're very particular about their home environment. They're very They could be homebodies at times because, home is that safe place where they feel like they're the king of their castle. And remember, I'm talking about Virgo men here. They feel like they're the king of their castle at home and nobody can challenge them and they don't feel like they're being criticized or scrutinized. But onto the criticism factor, of course, because Virgo is the essence of criticism. Virgo men can be hypercritical when they are unevolved. So, and when I say hypercritical, I'm talking about tearing you down to size. I'm talking about hitting below the belt. I'm talking about, and these will be really serious, actual flaws that the other person will have. So let's say that you have a problem with your belly and your belly's kind of big. Well, they will zero in on that and they won't leave you alone if they're unhappy with you about that. And they will remind you every day about your fat belly or on a regular basis. Or let's say that your nose is you feel like your nose is big and you made the mistake of telling this dark-sided Virgo that, well, they will always bring it up at, when they need to use it to their advantage. So like Scorpio, Virgo can have a very, they can have a stinger for their tongue when they are unhappy. Another thing about the dark side of Virgo, they can be sex freaks. Like they can be addicted to sex. They're some of the best lovers, hands down, in terms of the zodiac. They might be the best lover, and that's because they are very serving. They love to serve. They love to please, and they're also perfectionists. So, and they're also very observant. So if you have a Virgo male that, watches porn, he's not just watching it for pleasure. He's watching it to pick up on tips on what he can do. So Virgo men, they can also be addicted to porn very easily. And the reason why is because, again, it's that perfectionistic thing. And they feel, some Virgo men may feel like they can't obtain that with a real woman. So they will go to, you know, uh, they will deal with, that perfection either in porn or it might be a sex doll. They can be kind of weird when it comes to their sexual desires. Um, Virgo tends to have a very submissive nature, and if men aren't comfortable with that, Virgo males, they will try to overcompensate and try to have a lot of women. So they can be philanderers if they're not confident in who they are. If they're insecure, they can, try to, uh, boost their self-esteem by sleeping around. So Virgos can be hoes too. I know Virgo is the sign of the Virgin. Don't get it twisted. Virgos can be, they're some of the biggest hoes out there. When we're dealing with the dark side of the sign, don't take it personal. You know, a lot of my videos, you are going to need a thick skin when I get into the dark side of each sign. And I am going to hit each sign. But today, I was inspired to talk about Virgo because of all this Pisces talk. And Virgo is the opposite sign of Pisces. So both signs, they have similar traits, but they're also very different. So I'll get into the dark side of Pisces in another video, but um, that's basically my video about the dark side of Virgo. I'm trying to think, did I miss anything? Um, if you happen to think of something in your personal experience about Virgo and the dark side when it comes to men, feel free to comment. Also, I'm going to leave my website address at the bottom. So if you would like a reading, just click order a reading when you get to my website. And please subscribe if you like this video because there's more to come. I've been in the YouTube game for quite a while, but I had taken a very long hiatus due to some things that have happened in my life. But I'm trying to get back on track. I'm trying to, really bring some knowledge, but also bring some humor and entertainment into the world of metaphysics on YouTube. So stay with me. And like I said, I'm trying to think, did I miss anything about, I said that they're hypercritical. They could be verbally abusive. They could be sex demons, like possessed by a sex demon, meaning, hoes and, just out there, just, trying to boost their self-esteem through sex. Um, oh, they can be very self-loathing. So again, that goes back to that hypercritical. They're critical of others, but they're really critical of themselves. And so they could be filled with a lot of self-loathing if their life isn't going right, or if they feel like they haven't achieved certain goals in life. Another thing is, dark-sided Virgo men, they're not built for the street life. So if you know of any dark-sided Virgo men, they might get caught up in the prison system a lot, or they might have gotten shot a lot, or just bad things happen while they're out on the street. That's because they're not built for that life. They're built to serve. And when their ego gets too big, they easily get humbled. See, some people don't understand why certain people get away with certain things and other people don't. Well, it deals with astrology and it deals with, the way the planets were aligned when they were born. So that's why some people can live a street life and, they can go through it unscathed, where other people, they live that street life and they easily get caught up. So that explains that. So I'm cutting it off now. I don't want to be too lengthy, but stay tuned. I got more videos ahead. Um, Kind of nervous right now because my nerves are kind of jumpy because I was writing all day. I'm working on a book dealing with planetary transits, so stay tuned for that. I'll be posting videos about my trials and tribulations in writing this book. So the reason why my voice sounds like this is not because I'm nervous, it's because my nerves are like keyed up because I'm full of all this creative energy right now. I got 3 Venus transits going on today in my chart. So, yeah, I'm in really good spirits right now. Hopefully you are too. Peace and blessings. I'm out.